everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Classrooms to Closings. I'm Mary Beth Burns, and I'm a local realtor here in the Metro Atlanta area, and I'm here to educate you on all things real estate. This episode has 4 fast facts about what to expect if you are planning to sell your home during the coronavirus global pandemic. Since we've all been in our homes most of the time, if not all of the time, since March, it may leave many of us wanting to find a home that better suits our needs. With remote working and a lot of remote learning happen, maybe your current home doesn't have spaces to be able to make that happen. Maybe all of this together time has made you realize we need something bigger. Whatever the reason is, there's lots of different reasons why people are choosing to sell their homes during the coronavirus global pandemic. Fast fact number 1. Right now is an excellent time to sell your house because we are in a very strong seller's market. And what that means is that there's low inventory. And with low inventory means that you as the seller have far less competition than you would if you were to be selling in a buyer's market. And if you have less competition, that means that there's a higher likelihood that you will find yourself in a multiple offer situation, or at the very least, there's a high likelihood that you will get a very strong offer on your house. So even though it might feel like a weird time to be selling your house, I promise you it's not. It's actually an ideal time. I encourage you that if you're on the fence about selling or maybe waiting to sell, you may want to look at some data, and I'm more than happy to share some data that applies to you and your specific market to be able to make that judgment of whether or not it's time to sell or time to wait. There's a high likelihood that the data in your market would support the decision to go ahead and sell. Fast fact number 2. If you're going to sell your home during a global pandemic, it is very, very important that you find yourself an agent who's very tech savvy. While the fact that buyers are looking for homes hasn't changed, the way that they are looking at homes has had to change considering the quarantining and the stay-at-home orders and things like that. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you have an agent who is very, very comfortable with online marketing, is very comfortable doing a video or a virtual tour of your home, and is very comfortable getting creative with ways to use technology to market your home and to engage in the conversations that need to happen once an offer has been accepted. Now, there's been many people who have participated in virtual closings, virtual listing presentations, virtual showings, virtual open houses, and you're gonna wanna make sure that your agent is comfortable doing those things. Now is not the time to go with the agent who's uncomfortable even using Zoom. You're gonna want someone who really knows their way around technology. Fast fact number 3, safety. It goes without saying that safety is going to be a top priority when you are selling your home during a global pandemic. As I mentioned before, you're gonna want an agent who is really comfortable with doing virtual showings, virtual tours of your house, so that will eliminate a lot of the not so serious buyers who are just there to look around. If you have a buyer who has seen your house virtually and they still are interested in coming in, that's gonna limit the number of people that come in because you're only going to have serious prospects coming through your home, which is awesome. You're gonna wanna make sure that you and or your agent can put some safety precautions in place, such as having masks, hand sanitizer, shoe booties, gloves, disinfectant spray, things like that the buyer's agent and the buyers can use as they go through your home. You as the seller can also proactively do some things before the buyers arrive at your house to make it more safe. For example, turning on lights ahead of time, opening doors ahead of time. If there's any hidden cabinets or something that you want open, go ahead and open it so that the buyer and the buyer's agent can touch as little as possible. Another safety precaution that you can put in place by talking with your agent ahead of time is go ahead and make a policy that only decision makers need to be coming to showings. So you don't want a family coming and bringing all of their kids with them, or their in-laws or their parents or their friends. You only want the people who are making the decision to come in, because the less amount of people that are in your home, the better. Safety just doesn't apply to cleanliness and hygienic things that you can do. It also applies to safety of your contract and your finances. You're going to want to talk to your agent about putting in a coronavirus clause. There's so many out there that can protect you and the buyer throughout the process. So make sure that when you're talking with your agent about the contract, that you advocate for yourself if the agent hasn't talked to you about it already, and make sure that you have some of those clauses in there. You would hate for a deal to drop because of something that was coronavirus related that could have been prevented with a coronavirus clause. Fast fact number 4, and this is just a fast fact that's just in general about listing a home, but I felt like it was important to say in this video. You need to make sure that you are still being realistic about what you list your home for. I've heard a lot of people who have said, oh, since there's a lot of buyers out there, it's a seller's market, there's not a lot of competition, I'm gonna jack up the price of my house because buyers are desperate for a home and they'll pay for it. No, that is very, very, very unlikely and not wise. What you want to make sure that you do is that you consult with your agent about a realistic and appropriate listing price based on the comps and the market data of your area. And if you price it right, what's going to happen, or what will likely happen, is that you will have multiple buyers, and you could have a buyer that offers you a price that is above your listing price. That's best case scenario. What you don't want to do is jack up the price so high that you scare away all those buyers and your house just sits there for a long time. So if you are on the fence about selling your house and you kind of want to know how much it might go for, I'm more than happy to do a home valuation for you, completely free, just so that you can have an idea of what an appropriate list price might be. I'm more than happy to help you do that. All right, so that's another episode of From Classrooms to Closings. If you liked this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. All of my contact information is in the comments below if you have any other questions. But until then, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.